Hey, what the fuck? Haven't done this in a bit. Promise I won't complain today. I'm gonna answer some questions actually, as promised. I think I'll try to do a Twitter Q&A tomorrow night, which is Tuesday, during well, I can't do it during the SOA hour because I'd be stepping on my brethren at the network. So how about 8 to 9 tomorrow night Pacific Standard Time? And I don't know what the fuck that means to anybody else, but for me it's 8 to 9 o'clock, and the rest of you can figure the fucking time out. Wherever you live, whether it's Colorado or Pennsylvania or Serbia. And I have to say, I've been going through these questions on my website, and most of them are inquiries to how people can become extras, and telling me that they look like Bobby's brother or Tara's mother or Gemma's sister, and I appreciate all that, but those really aren't questions. Ask me a fucking question. Like this one, for instance. This may be my favorite question. This is from Martha from Orlando, Florida, who asks, will Tig ever be involved in a romantic situation with a normal woman? Which is just a fantastic question. And I honestly don't know. You know, I don't have... I have a sense of bigger arcs going into a new season. And with existing characters, but a lot of times those secondary storylines are really generated in the writer's room as we break the episode. So there's always the possibility. But I don't know. You know, I don't know what Tig does with a normal woman. I don't know how that works. You know, Tig is. Tig, you know, is bent in so many ways that I don't know what normality looks like to a guy like Tig. Okay. Here's a question from Amanda Yakov, if that's really your name, from Dallas, Texas. And Amanda asks, actors are their own worst critics. This is very true. How hard is it for you to edit your own scenes? It's hard. It's hard. I just don't like. I just don't really like me. So it's hard to. I don't like the way I sound. I don't like the way I look. I'm always astonished when I see photos or video footage, and often this is hard. I don't know if I expect that I'm going to look or sound better, but I'm always sort of amazed at how bad I look and sound. So on a very sort of narcissistic personal level, they're very hard to look at. In terms of the work, for the most part, Otto is a guy who facilitates story. You know, I mean, this season he had some crazy shit to do, but and I'm, you know, when I'm doing these scenes, when I'm acting, you know, I'm usually I'm I'm not a guy that likes to do a lot of takes, so you know, we'll do it like once or twice and then we'll move on because so more often than not, there's not a lot of choices when I get into the editing room. You know, there's maybe a couple takes of each, so that part's actually easy because the performances are not very. There's not a lot of options. I kind of have a clear sense of what the scene is and what the purpose of that character is. You know, I have the advantage that the story's in my head, and so my interpretation is the interpretation that I know I'm going to use later on. So it's a much more expeditious process, you know. For that part, it's pretty easy making the choices in terms of what takes I use, but it is still difficult to look at me. Let's see. No, I really don't want story ideas. Kurt, do you hate Canadians? Why can't we legally watch season 5 episodes on iTunes or anywhere else? I don't hate Canadians. I don't really hate any specific region of the world. That's really a question for iTunes and not me. I get a lot of questions about timing and access, and you know, there's only a couple places, and oddly enough, well, not oddly enough, but I believe New Zealand and Australia are actually on the same clock we are in terms of the seasons, meaning I think they got season 5 the same time we did, and I think France and England are a season behind, as well as Italy. Then there's a couple countries that I think are two seasons behind. And then iTunes, the way iTunes works is I know this from traveling, that when you're in a different country, you can't access. You have to use, you know, their portal into iTunes. You can't just access U.S. iTunes, and that's just the way it is. I get also getting questions about when will the season 5 DVD be out, and what will be on it. I knew at one point what the extras were, because I think they're all done, or most of them are done. When I have that information, I'll let you know. You know, we'll do the usual. You know, we're going to do we do 3 or 4 commentaries. We filmed a big the Twitter event that where I bring fans in. We did a big Twitter event with the Forest Rangers and Katie and Audra May and Frankie Perez, and had a big sort of musical event here on the back lot. And we filmed that. I believe will be on the extras for iTunes. and and the gag reel and things like that. But there's some cool other extras too, which of course I can't remember at the time. But I'll let you know. The way the release of the DVD is always the same, and I know it frustrates people, but it's just part of the model and the way this all works, is that there's a certain amount of money they use to launch the DVD, and it ties into the marketing budget of the season premiere, so that they can use both of them. They can use both events to help the awareness of both the season before launch of the DVD and the current season launch of a new season. So the season 5 DVD always comes out around the end of the summer in August, a few weeks before the launch of the new season for season 6, and it's always been that way, and it's not going to change. If you're seeing any other DVDs on sale or on eBay that are available before that date, they're pirated, and that's a crapshoot. Most of the time it's really bad. It's really bad digitized copies of the show. Often includes commercials. And it has no extras. There's no bells or whistles. It's just shitty copies of the show that that somebody recorded. So if you want to pay $40 or $50 for that, knock yourself out. But the real DVD comes out in August. And the launch of the season will be, season 6. Of course, we don't have a start date yet, but, I can't imagine it not airing the same time it has for the last, 5 seasons, which is, sometime in the first 2 weeks of September. Tuesday nights, obviously, early September, and we'll figure out what all that looks like, when we get close. So that's it. I will do the Twitter Q&A tomorrow, and we will. Sorry, just lost my train of thought. We'll do the Twitter Q&A tomorrow. I'm back with my writers in a few weeks, and I'll keep you plugged into that process as I usually do. Thanks.